Do you have a backyard full of mosquitoes? You step outside on a summer evening, the kids finally want to play, you get 1 minute to sit down, and within about 30 seconds, everybody's slapping their arms and running back inside. You've tried the citronella candles, maybe a bug zapper, the sprays from the store, one of those little clip-on gadgets, and the mosquitoes are still here. So let me show you what actually works. In the back corner of my yard, behind the raspberry canes, there's a plain 5-gallon bucket. It's half full of rainwater, a handful of grass clippings, and 1 scoop of a powder that costs about $15 at any hardware store. And right now, every female mosquito within 100 yards of my house is flying toward that bucket to lay her eggs, and every single egg she lays is going to die within 24 hours. It won't hurt the bees on my flowers. It won't hurt the butterflies, my dog, the songbirds at the feeder, or my kids running barefoot across the grass. It kills one thing: mosquitoes, and nothing else. No bug zapper, no spray truck, no chemical company on the payroll. Stick with me and I'll show you exactly how it works, in the order I do it, what it costs, and where to put it. I'm not a scientist and I'm not an exterminator. I'm just a dad with a backyard garden, berries, vegetables, a few fruit trees, and a yard full of kids and pollinators I'd like to keep alive, and I haven't been bitten in my own backyard in years. Meanwhile, my neighbors get eaten alive every summer. They've got the monthly spray service, the foggers, the citronella candles burning on every table. I've got a couple of hidden buckets and about an hour a month. Now here's the part that should bother you. The pest control companies have known about this for 40 years, and most of them still spray your yard with something that kills the honeybees right along with the mosquitoes. Why? Because the Be Safe option doesn't refill itself every month at $200 a visit. Stay with me, and by the end of this, you'll know how to clear the mosquitoes out of your own yard this weekend for less than the cost of a single spray treatment. Let me start with what most people get wrong, because if you don't understand this, nothing else will work. Mosquitoes don't come from the air. They don't blow in from the woods or from your neighbor's pond. Every mosquito biting you in your backyard was born in your backyard in standing water, and not very much of it. A bottle cap of water in the fold of an old tarp is enough. A clogged gutter holding half a cup of rainwater for 4 days is enough. The little dish under your potted plant is enough. One female mosquito lays between 1 and 300 eggs at a time, and she can do it in less water than you can hold in your cupped hands. That's the whole game right there. If you let standing water sit on your property for more than 4 days, you are running a mosquito hatchery. If you eliminate it, or, and this is the trick, if you poison it so the eggs can't hatch, you've solved the problem at the source. So here's step 1, and it's completely free. Once a week, in the cool of the morning, grab an empty coffee can and walk your whole yard. Every saucer under every pot. The wheelbarrow leaning against the fence. The dog dish you forgot about. The folds in the tarp over the firewood, the kiddie pool the kids left out, the bird bath, the clogged downspout, and if you've got an old tire lying around, get rid of it. Tires are the single worst mosquito factory ever invented. Dump them all, turn them over, walk the line. The extension folks call this source reduction, and it's half the battle. You can put out 50 buckets of treatment, and it won't do you as much good as dumping the 6 little catch pools hiding around your yard. 5 minutes a week, the mosquito starts her life in the water, so you end it there. Now for the bucket, you need 3 things. A dark-colored 5-gallon bucket, black-brown, dark green, anything but white. A few handfuls of grass clippings or dead leaves, and 1 container of something called Mosquito Bits. The ones I use are made by Summit, and I'll put a link down in the description. You'll find them in the lawn and garden aisle, sometimes near the pond supplies, about $15. You start by setting your bucket somewhere out of the way, behind a shed, under a hedge, in a back corner, not next to where you eat dinner. You want the mosquitoes drawn away from you, not toward you. Fill it about halfway with water. Rainwater's best, but tap will do. Then toss in a handful of grass clippings, a few dead leaves, maybe a twig or 2. Nothing fancy, just enough to make the water look a little dirty, a little swampy. And here's why the color matters. A female mosquito hunting for a place to lay her eggs is looking for dark, shaded, still water, the kind her species evolved in. A bright white bucket in full sun does not look like home to her. A dark bucket in the shade does. You're not making a swamp, you're making a counterfeit swamp, the most attractive piece of real estate on your whole property as far as a mosquito is concerned. Now here's the part that turns that counterfeit swamp into a graveyard. You take one heaping spoonful of the mosquito bits and sprinkle it across the top of the water. That's it. Don't stir, don't measure, one spoonful floating on the surface. What you just put in there is something called BTI. It's a bacterium, not a chemical, not a poison, the way people usually mean the word, a living thing that exists naturally in soil all over the world. When a mosquito larva, that little wriggling thing that hatches from the egg and lives in the water for about a week before it grows wings, when that larva eats a particle of BTI, it gets a hole in its gut, and within 24 hours, it's dead. And here's what makes it remarkable. It kills exactly 3 things: mosquito larvae, black fly larvae, and fungus gnat larvae. That's it. Not bees, not butterflies, not dragonflies, which eat mosquitoes themselves. Not fish, not frogs, not your dog if she sticks her face in the bucket. The toxin only switches on in the exact gut chemistry of those larvae. A bee's gut is completely different. So is yours. Germany has used this in their public water programs since 1981. It is the safest mosquito control on the planet, and it has been for 40 years. So why isn't your lawn care company using this? Simple. BTI is cheap. It's sold over the counter, and once you know about it, you don't need them. A $15 container lasts one family the entire summer. A monthly spray contract runs $60 to $90 a visit. You do the math on which one they'd rather sell you. One spoonful kills every egg laid in that bucket for the next 2 to 4 weeks. After that, the BTI breaks down and you sprinkle in another spoonful. That's the whole maintenance schedule. Now, one bucket behind one shed isn't going to clear a whole yard. You want at least 3, one on each side of the house, always away from where you sit and where the kids play. And if you've got a flower bed or a spot where you can't hide an ugly bucket, here's the trick. You take the lid, you prop it up on a few stakes. I just used bamboo, like a little hat sitting over the bucket. That way the rain can't get in and dilute your BTI, but the mosquitoes can still fly in underneath to lay their eggs. A few dollars in stakes, 5 minutes done. I've got one rig with a gray bucket and an orange lid, and another with a black tub and a green lid. Both the exact same idea. For the places you can't set a bucket, a ditch by the road, a low spot that holds water after a heavy rain, a rain barrel, an old stock tank, they make the same thing in a different form. They look like little brown donuts, and the box calls them mosquito dunks. You just toss one in. Each one covers about 100 square feet of standing water and lasts around 30 days. I keep a box of them in the garage, and I drop one in the rain barrel the first day of every month, from May through September. And here's one most people completely miss: your gutters. If your gutters have any leaves or debris in them, the kind of buildup most houses get within a year of cleaning, they are holding water. Not much, just enough. Sprinkle a spoonful of mosquito bits straight into the gutter every few weeks during the season, and you've shut down what's probably the single biggest mosquito nursery on your whole property. Most homeowners have no idea their gutters are doing this. The mosquitoes know. Now all of that handles the eggs and the larvae, but you've still got a problem. There are adult mosquitoes out there right now, born last week, looking for blood so they can lay one more batch of eggs before they die. They are not going to read your mind and fly to the bucket. They're coming for you on the patio. So we handled the adults too, and this part is also safe for bees and butterflies. What we use is essential oils, real ones. The actual extracts: cedarwood, rosemary, clove, lemongrass, peppermint. These aren't perfumes. They're concentrated plant compounds people have used as insect repellents for thousands of years. Get yourself a pump-up garden sprayer, about $40, lasts a lifetime. Fill it 3/4 full with water, shake in the amount of oil the label tells you, and shake the whole tank till the water goes cloudy like skim milk. Then here's the trick most folks get wrong. Don't spray the open air. The oils evaporate fast, and you're just wasting them. During the day, mosquitoes don't fly around. They rest in the shade, on the cool undersides of leaves, and in the protected pockets of your shrubs. So spray those resting spots, the undersides of the leaves, the back of the woodpile, the lattice under your porch, and you wipe out the adults in one afternoon. Just don't spray any flowers in bloom. Even though these oils won't kill a bee, they'll tell her to go somewhere else. And that's the opposite of what we want. Now, 2 more things worth knowing. First, purple martins. If you've got the open space, a tall pole 15 feet up, well away from any tree, a purple martin house brings in birds that eat the big flying insects all day long. I'll be honest with you, mosquitoes are actually a small part of what they eat, but a yard that's alive with songbirds, dragonflies, bats, and frogs is a yard where mosquitoes have a hard time getting a foothold. The whole ecosystem starts working with you instead of against you. Second, an old trick for the patio at dusk, a small dish, a piece of charcoal, and a handful of dried rosemary or sage from your kitchen. Let it smolder. The smoke keeps mosquitoes out of about a 10-foot circle. It smells like a kitchen at Christmas, and it doesn't bother the bees. They're already in for the night. And look, here's why any of this matters. Mosquitoes kill more human beings every year than any other animal on Earth. Not snakes, not sharks, mosquitoes. They spread West Nile, which is in every state in this country now. The way most of us were told to handle them: call the company, sign the contract, let them fog the yard once a month with something that kills every insect it touches. That's not the only way. It's just the way that makes somebody money. And our bees are already in trouble. You don't have to kill the helpers to kill the pests. So this weekend, here's what I want you to do. Walk your yard with a coffee can and dump every saucer, every bucket, every tarp pocket holding water. That's step 1, and it's free. Then put out 3 dark buckets in hidden corners, half full of water, a handful of grass clippings, 1 spoonful of mosquito bits in each. Toss a dunk in your rain barrel and treat your gutters. And if you got an afternoon, grab a pump sprayer and a bottle of essential oil repellent and hit the underside of every shrub. About $60 the first time, less than $30 after that for the whole season. And by next weekend, you'll be sitting out back in the cool of the evening with no mosquitoes coming for you, your bees still working the flowers, your kids running around barefoot. Tell me in the comments where you live and what your mosquito situation's like right now. I read everyone. And if you put out a bucket, come back and tell me how it went. Subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.